forwards. So you should do that. We'll start lying down so you can just take your time and get yourself comfortable on your mat. So just any comfortable lying position will do today. So just taking a few moments just to get yourself settled. And then just beginning to draw your attention inwards. Start to be aware of your breath. So just noticing the breath just as it moves in and out through your nose. Just allowing the breath just to smooth out a little. As your breath begins to even out, just noticing your body, just how it feels this morning. Maybe noticing areas of tension or discomfort, and either move a little bit or just try and allow that tension just to slowly release. As your body starts to relax, just taking a moment just to notice how you feel. Allowing any thoughts that you might be having about that just to move in and out through your mind, without holding on to anything. In this morning's class, we're going to do a practice in stillness. So in our stillness practice, really just being more aware of kind of movements that we make that are not really necessary. So we obviously make some movements as we come into our asana. But then once we've made adjustments, trying to find even just a moment of just being still in the posture, just paying particular attention to any fidgeting that we might do. So we'll start to move a little bit. So when you're ready, you can maybe just move your fingers and your toes to begin, and then bend your knees and have your feet on the ground. And then when you're ready from there, just draw your knees in towards your chest. So as you bring your knees in, you can either place your hands on your knees or on your shins. And as you inhale here, we're going to draw the knees in a little bit more and start to curl the tailbone a little bit up off the ground. So just stretching through the low back and the hips a little. On the exhale, just slowly release all the way back down. So we'll do that again. So inhale, drawing the knees in. Start to curl the tailbone up. And then on the exhale, just slowly lowering down. If you'd like, you can lift your upper body here as well. So on the inhale, as the knees come in, start to lift up. So your nose comes up towards your knees. And then on the exhale, just release everything back down. We'll do that again. So inhale, drawing everything in towards the center. Exhale to lower. So we'll do that one more time. So just take, excuse me, your own time, just drawing your knees in and lifting your upper body. And then lowering down on the exhale. As you come back down, we'll take the hands and we're going to link them behind the back of your thighs now. So we're going to roll forwards and back. If you're not particularly keen on that move, you can always just make your way up, but just taking your time. Just rolling through your spine, just a little massage. Again, do as many or as few as you want, and then you can make your way up. As you come up, we're just going to make our way into an all fours position to start. So just take your time coming round. And take the hands underneath your shoulders and the knees underneath your hips. Just spreading your hands. And we'll come in and we'll do a few cat-cow movements here. So as you inhale, just drop the belly and start to pull the chest forwards. And then on the exhale, just rounding in. So just do that again. So inhale, drop the belly and lift the chest. And on the exhale, round. So we'll do that once more. So just taking your time moving through it. And then from here, we're going to make our way back. So you're going to come into Virasana. We're not going to stay here very long. So we're going to come up to high knees, but we're going to move through it. So sometimes when we want to still our mind, then moving the body in a kind of more flowing way can help us with that. So when you're ready, we'll have the hands down by your sides. As you inhale, we'll just start reaching up with the arms. And then on the exhale, the arms just lower all the way back down. Now this time as you do it, we're going to lift to high knees. So as you inhale, we're lifting up through your knees, reach up through your hands. And on the exhale, you can just sit yourself back down again. Again, you'll have to come all the way down. So we'll add on to that. So as you inhale, reaching up, stretching up. This time on the exhale, we're going to move forward so you can come into all fours. So we take the hands down. And you might want to separate your knees a little bit when you get there. As you inhale, we'll drop the belly. So coming in to that cow pose. And this time on the exhale, we'll round the back. So as if you're coming into that cat pose, but we're going to also move the hips back. So you're coming back towards your heels. Okay. So on the inhale, lifting up, reaching up. So coming up onto the high knees. On the exhale, release the hands down in front of you and come to all fours. As you inhale, drop the belly and start to lift the chest forwards. And on the exhale, we'll round, but we'll move all the way back, so into that child's pose. So we'll do that again. So inhale, lifting up, reaching up through your fingers, coming up to high knees. On the exhale, the hands come down, we come to all fours. On the inhale, drop the belly, start to pull the chest forwards. And on the exhale, rounding in your back, start to move back to child's pose. Okay, we'll do that again. So start to follow your own breaths here. So inhale, reaching up, rising up. Exhale, moving forwards. Hands go down. Inhale, drop the belly and lift the chest. Exhale, round and move back into the child's pose. We'll do that one more time. So again, just take your time. Move forwards on the exhale. Inhale, lower the belly and lift your chest forwards. Exhale, move back. We'll stay in this child's pose for a moment. So maybe stretch your fingers out and lower down. So the challenge is when we are in the still pose, so when we're in something like child's pose, so we're just relaxing, is to keep the mind pretty still as well. So just observing where your thoughts go and noticing if they wander off and trying to gently draw them back in. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to move back up. So just back into that all fours position. So you can spread your hands and knees underneath your hips. As you inhale here, we're going to lift your right leg up, but in a bent leg position. So you're going to flex your foot a little bit. And we're going to move that leg round in a circle. So you could bring it in towards your chest, first of all, out to the side and back up. But really just what feels like a circle to you. And any size, any shape, any speed. Keep your breath moving in and out through your nose as you do it. And then maybe change directions, just going the other way, just checking in with your hip, just seeing how it feels this morning. When you're ready, we'll draw the right knee in and we're going to step your right foot up towards the top of your mat. So just take your time stepping it through. Have your hands either side of your right foot. Maybe slide the left leg back a little bit, but just see how that feels. Let the hips lower down. You can use blocks here if you'd like, but we'll keep the left hand either to the ground or a block. Move your right hand onto the right knee so you can start to pull your chest round to the right. Or maybe you can reach up through your right fingertips and open up through your chest. But again, you see how it all feels. Still get a sensation of letting the hips lower. And even these quite simple postures, try and feel that kind of sense of stillness when you get there. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll slowly release the hands down to the ground. As you come towards the ground, move your hands to the inside of your right foot. As you do that, start to walk your right foot out towards the right side of your mat a little bit. Now from here, we're not coming into a lizard pose just yet, but we're just kind of easing into it a little bit. So you might bend your elbows just a tiny little fraction to let the hips drop down a little bit more. We will come into lizard pose a little bit later, but when we're a little bit more warmed up. So just again, see how the hips feel. If you want to later on when we do it, you could grab blocks and build them up, but we'll not do that just now. We'll just see how it feels here with the elbows slightly soft. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. So if you've got the elbows bent, maybe straighten your arms again, and then walk your foot back in towards the center and have your hands either side of that right foot. As you do that, we'll tuck the toes under and start to lift through your left knee. And then we're stepping back to plank. So as soon as you get back, you can definitely lower your knees to the ground. So if that feels difficult, then just take your knees down. We are going to lower to the ground. So again, optionally knees down first, or move forwards and bend your elbows and lower all the way down to your mat. So when you get there, release your toes behind you and start to get a feeling of pressing the front of your toes down. Draw your fingers back so you've got them in line with your shoulders. And then as you inhale, start to lift up into a cobra. So the shoulders draw back, the chest lifts, and the toes press down to the ground to help you. As you exhale, slowly lower down. So do that again. So inhale, coming up, draw the shoulders. Maybe when you come up this time, you can maybe float your hands up off the ground, but just see how that goes. On the exhale, release the hands and then lower yourself down towards the mat. We'll do that one more time. So again, inhale, draw the shoulders back, lift your chest up, maybe float the hands up. As you exhale, release the hands and lower yourself all the way down. From there, start to push up into all fours again. So just pressing yourself up and back. Walk your knees in. And when you come in, this time we'll just start to maybe circle around through your wrists. So moving over your wrists and then taking the hips back towards your heels. So again, you can go a little bit further back. Maybe you move a little bit further forwards. Just whatever feels right. When you're ready, we'll start to change direction just in your own time. Just moving and breathing. And then just when you're ready, we'll come back in towards the middle again. So coming into that all fours position. So draw your belly in. We'll use the left leg this time, so start to pick the left leg up. So again, flex your foot, keep the leg bent, and then start to maybe circle round again. Take your time. And just see how that hip feels, just in comparison to the other one. So is it a little bit stickier, or is it more mobile? Does it click a little? Mine certainly does on one side. And then change directions, just go the other way. Just be mindful of your neck here, so you look towards the top of your mat, so you're not dropping and letting the head be too heavy. Support the head. Okay, when you're ready, we'll draw that left knee in and we'll start to step the left foot to the top of your mat. So take your time, move in your own way just to get there. Have your hands either side of your left foot and maybe slide the right leg back a little bit. Let the hips drop down and the chest lift a little. And use a block for your right hand if you'd like, or right hand to the ground, or on fingertips, and left hand to the left knee. Start to turn your chest round towards that left side. And maybe if it feels okay, reach up with your left hand. Try and align your hands. So the top hand kind of aligns with the bottom hand, the shoulders open, hips drop down and the belly lifts a little. Okay, take one more inhale. Slowly release the hand down, and then we'll come to the inside of your left foot. So move your hands in, and then start to walk your left foot out to the left side of your mat a little. So giving yourself a little bit of space here. So again, with the hands to the inside of your left foot, maybe you can bend your elbows a little bit without feeling that you need to. Still feel the hips drop down and the belly lift down. Good, and breathing deeply. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to straighten the arms if you've got them bent, and then start to move that left foot towards the center of your mat again, using your hands either side of the left foot. We'll tuck the toes under and lift the right knee up. Again, we'll step back to plank, lowering the knees straight away if you'd like to, or at any point if you want to. And then we'll lower to the ground. So knees down first, or move forward, bend your elbows, lower yourself to the mat. So again, when you come down, try and flatten out your feet behind you so you can press the toes down to the ground. Draw your hands back. And as you inhale, draw the shoulders back, lifting through your chest. On the exhale, slowly lower down. So do that again. So inhale coming up. Now this time, if you want to, you could float your hands up. Maybe you could reach your hands in front of you to stretch them out. And then on the exhale, draw the hands back, place them on the ground, and lower yourself down. We'll do that once more. So again, inhale, draw the shoulders back, maybe just stay here, maybe lift the hands, maybe reach the hands in front. Exhale, pull the hands back, lay them down, and lower yourself down. Okay, from here, we'll start to push back up again. So maybe just take yourself up onto your knees and walk them in. And then we're going to move into our first downward facing dog when we get there. So we'll tuck the toes under, start to push and lift your hips up behind you. So as you come into down dog, again, kind of when we come into familiar moves like this, we tend to make the same movements, the same adjustments, and do make them. So they're important, they're essential to our practice. So make the movements. And here, maybe there's a little bit more as you're coming into your first one. So maybe you just pedal your feet out and maybe move your hips a little bit. So you can make as many movements that you feel are right. And maybe you keep your knees bent and try and push up and out your shoulders and spread your hands. But then even just for 1 second, try to find that stillness. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We're going to move to the top. So you could lift your heels up and just take your time and walk up towards the top of your mat a little bit. As you come up, we'll separate your feet and just fold towards your legs. So you could have your hands supporting onto your legs. So maybe you grab a block here. Maybe you just let the arms dangle, or if you'd like to, you could take hold of opposite elbows and just very gently sway side to side. So without making the movement too big. We'll release the hands again, and if you want to, you could change your grip and bring the other elbow in front, and either continue moving side to side or maybe gently take it forwards and back. Without it becoming big, you want to keep it fairly small. And okay, from there, we'll release the hands all the way down. Now this time as we come up, we'll just draw the belly and we'll roll up. So just a little tiny roll up, so with the body heavy, just rolling up a little bit at a time. And then you come up to the top, try and draw the shoulders down your back, lift the head up last, and just have your arms just down by your sides and maybe close your eyes. And as you come in here to Samastitihi, which is our equal standing, just try and feel the balance through either foot. And with your eyes closed, notice this, that stillness is not still, essentially. It's kind of a moving sense of stillness in yoga. So your body will start to sway a little bit even, and make little micro adjustments to your position. So the stillness that we're looking for is not frozen, but it's like a spinning top. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. And then when you're ready, we'll come into Tadasana. So we'll start to move the feet. Again, you can keep them apart if you'd like, but maybe spreading your toes, lengthening through the muscles of your legs. Relax your shoulders down your spine. As you inhale here, we'll start to reach up with the arms. On the exhale, folding forwards towards your legs. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, we'll take the hands down. We're going to step back with your right leg. So you've got an option here. We're going to do a little flow, and we're going to do it several times. So it's really trying to get into that idea of moving and stilling the mind. So you can either stay here and then step to the top. If you want a little bit more, we'll reach up with the arms. So we'll lift the upper body and come into our high crescent lunge. And if that doesn't suit you, then you can always leave it out. And then from here, we'll bring the hands towards your chest, and then we'll step up towards the top of your mat. So that is the flow. We'll do it again. So as you inhale, reaching with your arms. On the exhale, folding forwards. Lengthen your spine on the inhale. On the exhale, hands down, left foot steps back this time. Again, stay here if you'd like. Or as you inhale, start to lift and reach with the arms. As you exhale, palms to the heart and step up towards the top of your mat. When you're ready, inhale to reach. Exhale to flow. Again, start to move through it at your own pace. Lengthen your spine on the inhale. Hands down, step back on the exhale. Inhale, reach with the arms. Exhale, palms at the heart. Step to the top. Inhale to reach. Fold forwards on the exhale. Lengthen the spine on the inhale. Hands down, step back on the exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, step to the top. Okay, we'll do that again. So just keep moving through it at your own pace. Don't worry too much if it goes wrong, but just think about moving and breathing in your own time, using your own breath. We'll do that twice more through. So again, just take your own time, breathe in your own way, move at your own pace. We'll do one more side. When you finish this one, you can just stand in Tadasana at the top of your mat. So we'll all meet back in Stasana. When you get there, maybe close your eyes again. Just breathing deeply. Okay. We're going to come into our balance. We're going to do warrior three today. So again, if you want to, you can use a wall here. We don't use blocks for warrior three because it's not our standing splits. We want to stay standing, but a wall is a great idea. And if you've got one either to the side or if you want to use a chair or something, you can definitely use that. And bear in mind, you don't have to lift your leg up. You can always have it lower, whatever. So we'll come up towards the top of your mat. We'll stand, first of all, just onto your right leg. So you separate your feet out distance and take the weight a little bit onto your right leg. Bend the right knee and draw your belly in. And we'll just bring the hands towards your chest, so palms together. Now we're just going to step back a little way with your left leg, so not too far. And then from there, we can start to move into our warrior three. So we'll push through the right leg. Maybe you lift the left leg a little bit off the ground. You can always keep that right leg bent. And you can always keep the left leg low so you can touch down again. If you want to, you can start to move the left leg high. Maybe you start to straighten your right leg. So we try not to take the chest down too far so it's not going further down in your hips. Good. And you don't have to lift the leg high. You don't have to keep it there. You can always hop it back down. Good. If you want to reach your hands back or reach the hands forward, you can do that as well. But again, just work with what feels right. And then to move out of it, make sure your hands are towards your chest. And then it's just like a seesaw. So as we lift the upper body, we lower the leg and we bring the feet back together again. Maybe when you come in, just take a moment, close your eyes, see how it feels on that side. And it will not be the same on the other side, so just watch that. Okay, so we'll try the other side. We'll stand onto your left leg, bending into your left knee. Start to step back a little bit with your right leg. And then when you're ready, start to lift your right foot up off the ground. So balance postures help us with stillness as well. So they help us to still the mind because we have to concentrate so much on the posture that we kind of forget to think because we're so concentrated. And again, as we saw earlier, doesn't necessarily mean that we're completely still. So there will be adjustments made on the standing leg, particularly. So reaching the hands or keeping them towards your chest. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll bring the hands towards the center to come out of it. Start to lift the upper body, lower the leg towards the ground. Bring your feet and your hands back together. Close your eyes. Done. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. So we're going to come in and do some standing postures with the option of doing warrior three again. You don't have to. So we'll come into high lunge and you can do it from there if you'd like. We will hold the postures for slightly longer today just to get that idea of stillness when we're in them. So just taking your time. So we'll come in towards the top of your mat, spreading the toes. We'll come in through that little half sun salutation. Relax your shoulders, lengthen through the crown of your head. So as you inhale, reaching up with your arms. On the exhale, fold forward. Lengthen your spine, so stretch through the back. And on the exhale, take your hands down. And we'll step back with your right leg to warrior one. So as you step it back, the heel presses down, the toes turn in, and then move up into that warrior one position. And again, when you come up into it, when you move into it, you might feel that you need to make some adjustments. So you might not be in your perfect warrior one. You might need to move your left foot out to the side a little bit. You might hop your back foot in so that you've got more space to turn the hips. But still feel a balance to your feet. And start to move into that sense of stillness. So stop the adjustments. We're no longer fidgeting. And it's harder to keep our mind still when we're in stillness in the posture. So just keep observing your mind and where it goes. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We're going to open to warrior two now. So start to move around. Again, as you're coming into it, start to think about the adjustments that you need to make as you move from warrior one to warrior two. So maybe you can widen your legs a little bit. Maybe you need to move your feet a little bit. Reach through your fingers, open your chest. Start to feel that openness in your hips and draw the front knee open. Finding your drishti and finding your breath. Move into that stillness. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Now we're going to move to triangle here. So we're going to straighten your front leg. You may hop your back foot in, so maybe your legs are too wide from warrior two. And then start to push away a little bit through your right hip. Lengthen over your left leg. Maybe you take your hand down towards a block and then start to move into it. And top hand reaches, but maybe that doesn't feel right. So you can always bend that top arm, draw it behind your back and start to open through your shoulders. And again, as we come into postures like this, it's even more important that we come into the right position for you. Because often if we come in too deeply, then it's not comfortable to stay in, to stay still in. And the body will soon let us know that we need to move out or move out a little bit. So watch your breath, watch your thoughts. Okay, take one more inhale. Slowly come up, so use your core, draw your belly in, lift yourself back up. When you come up, we're just going to release the arms here, so you could roll your shoulders a little bit. And then we're going to re-bend that left leg a little. And we're going to move into a high lunge position. So we're going to turn on the toes of your back leg. Again, as you come into this, you might feel that your back leg's too far back or your front foot is too far in. So you need to adjust it maybe a little bit. And then start to reach up with your hands. If you want to, you don't have to. Relax the shoulders, keep the hips nice and level. Now from here you have a choice. So you can stay in this high lunge or you could try warrior three once more. So we'll bring the hands to the center. Start to push through your left foot and lifting your right leg up. So again, you might hop into it, you might come up in one go, it doesn't matter. And then when you get there, you can always go back down into that high lunge. You can always step back a little bit if you need to just see how it feels. Maybe you reach the hands behind you, maybe you reach them in front, but without feeling that you need to do anything. So you can always keep your hands to the center. And you can flex your back foot a little bit. That helps keep the hips level. Okay, so we'll come with the hands back towards the center of your chest. This time we're going to step back. So before we step down, so we're going to step back with that right leg, find the floor and come into that high lunge. And again, if you want to reach up for a breath, you can. Now from there, release your hands all the way down to the ground. As you come down to the ground, you might step back a little bit with your back leg, just see how that feels. We are going to come into that lizard lunge. So we're going to bring the hands to the inside of your left foot. From there, lower your right knee towards the ground. Now, as you come in, we're going to walk your left foot out to the side. So start to take a little walk with your foot. And when you get to the side, you might turn your toes. So you could pick the toes up and turn them more to the left. So it gives you even more space. But if sometimes it doesn't feel right, then you would just keep your toes facing forwards. Now from there, you could either just stay here, maybe just bend your elbows a little bit. Or if you have blocks, you could maybe grab them and build up a little kind of structure so you could rest your elbows on. Or if you can lower down towards the ground, then take yourself down. And again, in these kind of deeper postures, we just have to watch that we don't go too far. We still have to find that sense of stillness, the ability to breathe, the ability to relax as well. So often if we go too deeply, there's no way we can relax because our body is so tense. You will take one more inhale. When you're ready, start to walk yourself back up. So take your time. So maybe just straighten the arms. Turn your toes of the left foot towards the center. And then start to walk your left foot towards the middle of your hands again. So one hand either side of that left foot. From there, we'll tuck the toes under on the right leg and we'll lift the right knee up off the ground. And from there, we're just going to step towards the top of your mat. So you could bend your knee and step it forwards. As you come in, have your feet hip distance apart again and then just fold towards your legs. So you can have your hands on your legs, maybe have your hands on blocks here. Or if you can reach, you can maybe take a little bind. So taking your two peace fingers to the inside of your big toe, close it off with your thumb, and start to bend the elbows to draw yourself in. Again, if that feels all too much, then just have your hands where it feels right. So lifting a little bit in the belly and lifting a little bit in the hips. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. When you're ready, release the bind if you have it. And then again, we'll start to roll up like that rag doll. So just slowly rolling yourself all the way back up towards the top. Take your time, release your shoulders, relax your arms. Take a moment maybe to close the eyes. See how it feels. Balanced, still. Okay, when you're ready, we'll open the eyes and we'll come in and we'll try the other side. So I'll move to the other side, but you can just stay where you are if you like. So again, start to spread your toes, lengthen the legs, relax the shoulders. Inhale to reach up and exhale to fold. Lengthen the spine forwards. And then with the hands down, we'll step the left leg back to warrior one. So the heel goes down, the toes turn in, front leg bends, and start to rise up into that warrior one position. So maybe reaching with your arms, but just again, see how it feels. Try and relax your shoulders a little bit. Okay, start to feel the balance in your feet, the equal pressure in both feet. And see if you can stay still. So with stillness comes calmness and peace. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to open up now to warrior two. So just taking your time, moving yourself around, again, making the usual adjustments that you make. And being mindful that when you've made them, you then try and find that sense of stillness. So if we practice stillness on our mats, then hopefully we can have it in our lives as well. And you know, things happen and we have to be able to react to them. It's better to react from a place of stillness and calm than from a place of kind of continuous flux and movement. You will take one more inhale. So we're going to start to move into triangle. So slowly start to straighten the front leg again. Maybe you hop the back foot in a little bit. Maybe you just press the hip out and lengthen over that front leg. So onto a block or to your leg, wherever you can. Maybe taking that top hand behind you and drawing your shoulder back. Try and lengthen through the bottom sideways. Just breathing easily in a calm way. Again, if you need to move out of it a little bit, then do that. You will take one more inhale. Start to move up, so draw your belly in, lifting back up again. Release your hands when you get there and start to roll your shoulders a little. And then re-bend your legs, so that front leg bends a little. So move into that high lunge. So again, turning on the toes of your back legs. So if you need to hop it in a little bit, then just hop it in. Make the adjustments, make the changes that help you. And then maybe hands to the center, or maybe you reach up with your arms. And just breathe there. Again, you can stay here if you'd like, or come into that warrior three. So bringing the hands towards your chest, start to push through your front leg, start to lift through the back leg. And again, you might hop it in a little bit, and then you might lift it up. You just take it to where it feels right to you. Flex your back foot, keep the hands to your chest, or maybe you reach the arms back. And always feel free to place that back foot back down. And always pop it back down and lift it back up again. You can do what feels best. So again, coming out of it, we'll bring the hands towards your chest. We'll start to reach back with that left foot. So just stretch it back, find the floor. And then maybe reach back up with your arms, just for a breath here. When you're ready, release the hands all the way down to the ground. So we're coming back into this lunge position. So again, we're going to lower the back knee to the ground, and we're going to come in for our lizard lunge. So start to move your hands to the inside of your right foot and start to walk your right foot to the right edge of your mat. As you come out, maybe pick the toes up and turn the foot towards the right as well, so the toes turn out a little, giving you a little bit more space in your hip. So again, stay here. So you can just stay here. This is quite a strong stretch anyway. Maybe you bend into your elbows a little bit. Maybe you grab blocks and lower down onto your forearms, or maybe you can lower your forearms down towards your mat without force, without getting there and feeling that it's too much. And if it is, you can always back out. You always have a choice of moving out again. But listen to your breath. See if it still feels calm. See if your mind feels calm. We're going to take one more breath here. And I'm going to start to move back up. So just taking your time, pushing yourself back up again if you're down. And then from there, turn the toes of your right foot so they're more straight. And then walk your foot towards the center of your mat again. So bring your hands either side of that front foot. From there, we'll tuck the toes. We'll lift through the left knee, so lift it up off the ground. Now this time we are just going to step back. So if you step back with your right leg, you can lower your knees straight away there. I'm going to come into a child's pose. So you can widen your knees if you like. Feet together, start to sink the hips back and You can either have the arms stretched out or just cross them over and just drop your head down. So whatever feels best to you. Okay, when you're ready, we are going to lower ourselves all the way down just to your belly here. So you can take your time just making your way onto your front. As you come onto your front, we're going to come into our Sphinx pose. So we're going to come up onto your forearms. As you come into Sphinx, just try and make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, and then that your wrists are out from your elbows. You can have your feet flat onto the ground here, and start to think about pressing your pubic bone just gently down towards the mat, but then lift your belly button up off the mat. And then start to think about, or if you can imagine, there's little suction pads on your fingertips. Try and get them to draw the chest forward. So it feels a little bit like cobra when you're doing it. So we're lifting up through your chest, drawing the shoulders down your back. So try not to kind of hunch into it, but really lift the chest and draw the shoulders down. And then just breathe there. So you can just stay here. So just in this Sphinx pose, which is quite challenging in itself. If you wanted to, you could lift your hips up off the ground here. So we push into our knees and we lift the hips a little bit hovered up off the ground. Just see how that feels. And if it's too much, lower the hips down. If you want a little bit more than that, you could press the front of your feet down and lift your knees up off the ground. Again, you can always release down and just see how it feels. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll slowly release everything all the way back down. And then you can relax all the way down to your mat. So bring your arms around and drop your head down and just release there. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to come back up. So just using your hands just under your shoulders, start to press yourself up. And then we'll start to move the legs forward and we'll just have a little seat towards the front. So we're just going to bring the legs in front of you. Okay, as you do that, we're going to, first of all, just sit up onto your sit bones. You could use a strap for the next one if you've got one. So we're going to do, you're either going to do Janu Shavasana or a half Virasana. So you can see how it feels when you get there. But you could, if you've got a strap, grab it. So we'll keep your right leg straight. So Janu Shavasana, if you want to, you're just going to bring the sole of your foot just towards the inside of that inner thigh. Virasana is a little bit more in the knee, but it does stretch the quad. So we take the leg the other way, and so that the heel comes to the outside of your thigh. Again, if it doesn't suit you to do that, then come in for the first one. So Janu Shavasana. You just have to see how it feels on your knee. And make sure you're sitting pretty evenly. So both sit bones should be down. You can always use a block here. If you feel you're kind of over to one side, you could sit on a block on the other side. As you inhale, we'll just reach with your arms. And then on the exhale, we'll fold towards your legs. So you're just taking your hands to wherever they will go, to your leg, your ankle, maybe to take your foot. Maybe you grab a strap and place it around the ball of your foot and then use that to draw yourself forwards a little bit. Again, without being too harsh about it, but be soft. And once you've made any adjustments here, then try and find a little bit of stillness. Again, try not to go in too deeply. Try not to be too harsh about the grip that you have. So be gentle, allow the muscles to relax. And just breathe there. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to move back up again, so just take your time as you move out of it. And then we'll release the legs just towards the front again, so you can give your legs a little shake. But from there, you can come into the other side. So again, keeping your left leg straight, maybe just come in for Janushirasana. And you might do one on one side and one on the other. You just have to see how your knees are, how they feel. Otherwise, we'll take that foot and take it towards the back. So we bend it the other way, heel quite close towards your hip, and try and settle yourself in the center using blocks if you need to. As you inhale, start to reach, and on the exhale, just coming back in. So again, to any degree, use your strap if you'd like, so around the ball of that foot, just take it round. Without feeling that you need to go any further than you are, try and find a sense of stillness there. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. When you're ready, slowly start to release to come back up again. Release your legs. Give them a little shake. So we'll come down onto your back now. So we'll take your time. We're going to come in for a bridge here. So if you do have a block and you want to use it to give it a more restorative feeling to it, then definitely do that. Otherwise, just settle yourself down onto your back. Have your feet hip distance. As you inhale, start to push through your feet and lift your hips off the ground. So again, you could grab your block here, place it under your hips and just settle the hips back down to any height. If you want to move up a little bit more, then do that. And your choice here, so you can interlink your fingers behind your back or keep your hands on the ground. Move your arms over your head if you want. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Again, if you have a block, then maybe lift your hips a little bit, release it, or release your hands and slowly lower yourself all the way down towards the ground. From here, we'll draw the knees in towards your chest. And then we're going to keep your right knee in, and we're going to extend your left leg just along the ground. We'll come in for a twist here. So using your left hand, start to draw that right knee all the way over to the left side. So you might move over to the left outer edge of your left foot. Maybe stretch your right arm away and look along it. And if you want to, you can either keep your right leg bent or you could also stretch it out. But see how that feels. When you're ready, slowly rebend through your right leg and then come back in towards the center. So we'll draw the knees in and we'll just change sides. So left knee into your chest, right leg extends away. Use your right hand to draw over towards the left side. And maybe stretch your left arm away, maybe look along it. Either keep your left leg bent or straighten your left leg. When you're ready, back in towards the middle. And as you come in, just draw your knees back in once more. So we're going to make our way into Shavasana next. So if you do want to put some socks or a jumper on, then do that. Just finding a comfortable position when you're ready. Stillness is a calm, quiet, motionless state. It's the space between our breaths. It's the silent space of presence, where time stops and we find ourselves floating in the truth of our own spirit. Stillness is where we are at one with ourselves, where we're peaceful, and when we're tuned in to the wisdom of the universe. Take a deep breath in, inviting in the cleansing fresh air, and exhaling it all out with a sigh. Let your breathing slow down with each breath you take. Let it pull your body into a relaxed, calming cadence. Just breathe. Follow your breath in and out of your body. Let it help you release your thoughts, erase your mind, and be here now, present to this moment, at one with your body, at one with your soul. Just breathe. Stillness is not something you seek out. It's something you surrender to. So stay here with your breath. Just let go. Practice connecting to the stillness. Just breathe. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose again. And then just sigh out. And then we'll start to move a little bit. So just through your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretch your arms over your head, so all the way down to your feet. Then And just bringing the arms back over, start to bend your knees. Keeping the feet on the ground or drawing your knees in. Just move a little bit. If you want to roll over onto your side, then do that. And then just when you're ready, we'll start to make our way up. So just finding a comfortable seat when you're ready. Just take your time. Bring the palms together in front of your chest. Leaving a little gap just to signify that openness in our heart. Thank you so much for coming along, practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the stillness practice that we did. Namaste. Thank you very much, ladies. Well done. I'll stop the recording.